Welcome to Secura Law Experience. I'm Luis Elizalde, founder of Secura Law. I'm here with
Stephanie de la Millar.
Perfect. This is a new episode. We are missing someone, but doesn't matter. No. Of course, we need you. But we can speak about our experience and something. Today we have a really great question that came from our producer. That is, it's hard to sell a house. Really, it's hard to do it. Let's Stephanie answer that.
It shouldn't be. I mean,
should not
be.
Okay.
Should not be hard to sell a house because you have to be prepared and know exactly what documents you need and what documents you don't.
But how do you gonna know? For example, there is a lot of persons in this world. Someone they are really organized, and someone no. So someone that is not really organized, it's gonna be hard to sell. Let's take out a little bit the possible buyer and all the hard work that the brokers do to get a buyer. Let's say that we already have like a buyer, and the seller is thinking, oh, okay, now is the moment to sell the house. Finally, it's gonna be hard for me. So let's start from there, and what they need is exactly, and if they are not organized, how can we help them to organize that?
Exactly. Well, I think we have to take from grounded that most of the documents are able to be pulled out from different authorities, entities. The thing is, the most important fact is time. That's why I think that you have to be prepared before getting your property listed. So if you are not very organized person,
good.
You have maybe your real estate agent or the lawyer to give you the list of documents that you need. And from there, you can start digging in your files, in your personal stuff. So you can pull out all the documents that you have from that list.
Okay.
Then comes the checklist. You sit down with your real estate agent, with your attorney, and say, okay, from A to Z, I have A and A only. No?
But
That's it.
I think the most important to begin, or the most important document, of course, is the title. The title, the deed. If you have your title, that's amazing. But you have to be sure that this is your title, the original. Because sometimes you sign and the attorney in that moment, or the notary public, or the broker that you have in that moment, they give you or they provide you a simple copy, or if you have luck, a certified copy in that moment. But that's not the original. The most important document in the original, of course, is your title. In addition, with the boleta registro, that is the document, a simple page that is established that your title is duly recorded, and your payment of the acquisition tax. With that three things, I think you are good to go. Hey, I don't have it. What they can do if they don't have that?
Exactly. I mean, if at least you have a simple copy with the folio number of the unit, we can pull the hard copy from the public registry. I mean, as easy as that. Or you can go directly to the notary public and also pull it out. You have to bear in mind that as older is your title, harder will be for the notary to find it, because they have to send every 5 years all their records to the official notary public's
headquarters.
It's not
headquarters, exactly the translation, of course, but they are in Chetumal. So after 5 years, it's really hard to get a document,
Yes. But I mean hard, but not impossible.
Exactly.
Impossible, it's nothing.
Yeah.
For us, of course.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have your title, that's something good. If you don't have it and you have an idea when you sign or something that you have, okay, if you send that to us, maybe we can find it in the public registry with the notary. But the most important is you have your title. The second thing important that I thinking is the property tax. And I don't think you're going to have a problem with that because you pay it every year. I hope that you do that. So the property tax, your title, perfect. What else do you think?
Yes. I mean, I think in that comes a reminder. Please take care of paying your property tax every January. Every January, put maybe some event in your calendar or anything to remind you that it's time that you pay your property tax. Because obviously, also, not obviously, but if you prepay the full year, you will get a discount. I mean, we know the fact that property tax here in Quintana Roo is really low. It will be lower if you pay on time, means January. So
they will have that savings. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. And you will make sure that you paid. So if you want to sell, you will be prepared. So you have your title, as Luis said, with your boleta de registro. You have your property tax. If you don't have it, there is a way to pull out a statement from the municipality hall in order that you know exactly how much you have to pay. And once that you pay, you have to get an official receipt. It's very important that even though you made the payment and you have your wire transfer or your receipt from your own bank, you collect the receipt from the municipality hall because that will be the official one.
And something that is happening right now is that, of course, to get all the pre-closing document, one of the first things that the municipality requests is a receipt of the property tax. And I realized that some clients, they have the property manager, and the property manager take only a picture of that and send that to the client or to the owner of the property. I think, okay, that's good to show that the property tax is paid, but it's going to be easier if you have a PDF document of that receipt, because as soon as we print it, to go to the municipality, to start all the process to get all the pre-closing document or certificate of not debt, it's going to be easy. Years before, it was with a picture. The municipality doesn't have any problem or didn't have a problem. But right now, they are very, very picky with that. They are asking exactly the receipt, or the copy has to be like totally legible without fingers. It's totally... If you don't have the original, it's going to be hard. But it's possible again.
Yes.
But
it will take longer and it means more fees because maybe you will have to pay a copy of the receipt, and that takes forever and they will charge you for that. So it will be better if you have all your documents, yes, definitely scanned. I mean, thank God we have now high technology, so please don't be afraid to ask your property manager. I thank you for paying my property tax, but definitely I need a scanned copy of every document that you have.
Exactly. Yes. Perfect. So it's title, property tax, boleta de registro, acquisition tax, receipt, and something that I think, producer, you have to put it in big, CFDI. That is your invoice when you acquire your property. If you acquire your property after 2014, March 2014, you need your CFDI. That is so important to deduct taxes because that document or that invoice is the one that is going to show how much is the value of your property when you acquire. That means if you are acquiring 100 and you are selling right now in 150, the calculation of the capital gain taxes is going to be only for the gain, that is 50,000. But if you don't have the CFDI, it's going to be calculating that gain in the total amount of the price, meaning the 150. So we are talking about all the amount for capital gain taxes is crazy. It's unbelievable. So you have to get that. It's very important. How can I get that? You-
It depends. It depends. Obviously, we advise that you go with your real estate agent or with the attorney or with both of them, so they can guide you about who will have it and how can you obtain it. If basically it's two rules. If you got it from a corporation, the corporation has to issue it. If you acquire from an individual person, the notary has to issue it. It is very specific about the requirements of that document. So obviously it has to be reviewed by a notary public or by an attorney. So you can make sure that it complies with all the legal requirements that a CFDA has.
Something just happened as experience about CFDI.
Oh, a lot of things.
Yeah,
happen with
no. I know,
CFDI.
but it sounds really crazy for me because let's say we have a couple. They're gonna buy the house, or they bought the house, and they bought it from another person. So the CFDI has to come from the notary public. Okay, all good. The one that pays was the husband, for example, a property of 200,000. He paid from his account, and it could be a jointly account with his wife. He paid all the receipts, all the payment are his name, but both of them as beneficiary of the trust or fideicomiso. That means that CFDI has to come to the name of both of them. But I find out that some notaries or some developers, they say no, because the payment came only from this person, and for tax reason, I have to write it only at the name of him. And it's gonna be a nightmare because in the future, when they want to sell, they're gonna make the deduction only in the portion of him, not her, and that don't make sense.
No, not at all.
So, what do you think, or what they are thinking about that?
What I think, I don't want to disclose it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, yes, I love CPAs, but sometimes they are very close-minded.
Square-minded.
Yes, so I mean, that's why after the acquisition of a unit, I think that a notary public, an attorney, an expert, a legal expert has to review and make sure that the CFDI, the CFDI, has been issued properly. So you can make sure that you won't get trouble. Because obviously once that it's issued, it will be very, very hard for the person that issued it to provide a new one.
Really? It's not that hard. They are like, I already made my taxes. Yeah, and of course, administrative talking is really, it's hard, but they can do it. That's the more issue for me. You know, it's like, hey, we are in the service. The developer, they are selling, okay, but it's service at the end. They have to.
Customer service is the first. I mean, it's a milestone for us to get that kind of service. You know, that obviously you have to always try to benefit your client, and more important because it's a right that they have.
Do the correct thing.
Exactly.
That's it. It's very simple.
But I mean, that's
I'm not
why
angry.
Yet. Yes, but I mean, and also it won't be a priority for a developer that sold the unit 2-3 years ago to issue a new CFDI. So
yeah,
it could take forever. And if you already have an accepted offer, the buyer can be really frustrated because of this amount of time that they are waiting for this. I had a client that had to wait 6 months to get his CFDI issued by the seller.
Ah, yeah.
So, I mean, it is
But I think in that exactly in that case, on that experience, it was because the seller didn't want to pay taxes, you know?
Yes, exactly.
And we push until he has to provide it, you know? Because it's the right of the buyer and the seller is an obligation to provide it. So
Yes.
I
I mean, that is the thing that we can provide as a legal firm, that every document included this CFDI is uploaded in our system, and it will be there for your consultation in the future if you need it. If you are not organized person, you will know that your lawyers have all your documents. So when it's time to sell, you only have to give them a ring, and we'll be able to provide you all the documents.
I'm thinking that we already spoke about like 4 things, and regarding the question, is hard to sell a house? Sounds like it's kind of hard, but not really, not that hard. But it's a lot of things that is in the back of all the process after you get the offer signed. And it's only a process. It's a work. It's a hard work, but you have to follow all the steps that we already said. But of course, until now, we have title, property tax, CFDI. What else? And that's it for now.
Yes.
What could be the next documents?
I think with that, you can be prepared and ready to list your property out of at the market, and be ready and prepared for accept an offer with that 3 documents.
I think we but we have to calculate also the seller has to be aware of the possible capital gain taxes that they have. That for today is really good for the seller that they bought in dollars and they are selling in dollars, because of the exchange rate is something really good. They bought it 3-4 years ago when the dollar was an exchange rate of 20 pesos per dollar, and now we are like 16-17 pesos per dollar. So that difference is going to help them to avoid to
reduce
or not pay capital gain taxes. I already have a client that we made a calculation 3 years ago, and we are doing the calculation again today, and they are not paying taxes because they are not gain. The problem is with the buyers, that they could have acquisition tax. Acquisition capital gain tax. It's crazy. It could happen. Good luck. Nah. No, it could happen, but it's really hard to get acquisition capital gain taxes, and I think that's for another episode.
Yes. But it's basically when you are, for the IRS eyes, you are buying in a very, very, very low price.
So you're getting a benefit in the different prices.
Exactly. But I mean, yes, that will be a really good episode, so we can explain it more clearly. Yes, I mean, and obviously the calculation of capital gain taxes, having a pre-one, so you can have rough numbers about how much you will expect, and at the end, how much it will be in your pocket at the end of the transaction, bearing in mind these taxes to be paid, public registry duties and documents that you have to pay as a seller, and a real estate commission. So you make your numbers and see exactly how much it will be at the end in your pocket.
Yeah. Capital gain taxes, I think it could be really good. Capital gain taxes for another episode also, but I think we can speak a little more about that, because of course it's something that is for the seller is very, very important for them, and
it's a concern.
Always. Yeah. But if you have, let's go for the simple way to not avoid the payments, using your rights that you have for exemption. For example, if you have your residence, you have your CURP, your tax ID, your proof of address with the tax ID on it. I think By law, I'm sure that by law you can exempt taxes. But please be aware that tax exemption have a limit. It's not like, hey, okay, I have all the documents. I'm gonna sell my house that I bought in 100,000 in $1 million, and I'm not gonna pay anything. No, it's not like that. Of course, that exemption has a limit, and that limit is around, for today with exchange rate, I'm thinking around 250, 280. I think that's the maximum that you can exempt in US dollar. So if you are selling above that amount, of course, it's going to help the exemption, but you are not going to exempt the total amount. You are going to exempt, if you are selling lower than that amount, of course, you are going to exempt 100% capital in taxes. But that's the easy one to exempt taxes, I think. When there is another ways to improve the payment of taxes, because, for example, you don't have anything. That's very normal. Yeah. And when you are selling, something that could be done to improve that payment of taxes is through an appraisal. In that appraisal, the appraisal guy is going to establish all the improvement that you put in your house. I know in America or in Canada, it's very easy with receipts and everything. In Mexico, it's not that easy. You have to be aware of that. In Mexico, you need invoice for everything, facturas for everything. So if you don't have that facturas at your name with your tax ID, with exactly what you're using for it, it's
related to the unit.
Yeah.
Yes, it have to be very, very specific and comply with a lot of requirements. So basically, long story short, facturas can be easily dismissed by the IRS.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to trust very much in facturas. I mean, it's great that you have them, but it will be better if you get an appraiser that makes the calculations of the improvements, because they have public faith, like the notaries does. So you will be able to get a reduction, an important reduction, if the appraiser can demonstrate to the IRS that you made a lot of improvements in your unit.
Yeah, because they did the improvement. For example, if they improved the kitchen, but they got everything from Home Depot, and they got only tickets, sometimes the client say, hey, I have the ticket. I invest or I expend 200,000 pesos. Yes, but that ticket is nothing for the IRS in Mexico, so we need the factura. If you don't have it, the appraisal guy is not, or the appraiser is not like, hey, I'm gonna take I saw the kitchen, or I see the kitchen, and in that kitchen is 200,000, okay? And the deduction is not gonna be the 200,000. It's gonna be 80% of that. Mm-hmm. But it's something better than nothing, So that's the reason with the appraisal, we can reduce the payment of taxes through the deduction for all the improvement that you made in the house, but not the total amount. So you also have to be aware of that. Because sometimes, hey, I don't want to pay taxes. It's not like that. Again, remember, you have to.
Yes.
But the difference is what we can do and how can we help you with that.
And all the deductions are legally supported in a timely manner. So if, for example, you buy a house and then fully furnish it with a very, very expensive furniture, can be also deductible?
Yes and no. At the end, you are selling a house. So if you're saying, hey, I'm going to sell the house with the furniture, and because I don't want that furniture, that has to be different. The furniture had not to be in the purchase price. They have to, or at the end, maybe the seller, hey, I want 300,000. Yeah, but your furniture, the value of your furniture is like 30,000. Okay. So what happened? Of course, in the title has to be 270 because they are selling the important thing that they are selling is the real estate, not furniture. So the furniture has to be outside of the business because it's not a real estate. Furniture is totally different things. So yes. they can do that. But
which also will help to the seller because the base of the calculation will be a little bit lower. No?
Yeah, that depends because if when they call us, hey, I want to sell my house in 300,000. Okay, we made the calculation in 300, and suddenly they say, yeah, but I calculated 300 with the furniture. Oh my God, no. Let's do a new number because the furniture nothing to do with the real estate. Let's go directly to do it 270. Of course, it's gonna be a reduction, but
Yes.
from the beginning, they have to tell us that kind of things.
It can be helpful for the base of the calculation of taxes, but it's not deductible when an appraiser goes to the place and make the appraisal.
Right. Yeah.
It's not part of.
Hey, I have a Ralph Lauren coat. No, not gonna help. Not gonna help nothing. But the appraisal guy is gonna be like, if you do improvement in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in your bedroom, the pool. If you install a pool or you build a pool, they're gonna help on all of that.
Yeah.
Do
you think solar panels could be part
Not
of the unit? Because at the end are removable, so.
Not sure. Good question.
Yeah.
Really good question. Something that we have to investigate because not sure, because right now you can lease or rent solar panels. So when you sell the house and you don't continue with the agreement, they're gonna take it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
It could help, I think, for the sale, like marketing. Hey, this house coming with solar panel, but for
now, but tomorrow no.
Yeah, exactly.
Tomorrow I'm taking out.
Yeah, but I'm not sure for taxes purposes it's gonna help because
I think it doesn't because it's the fact that are removable.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah,
yes,
good. Yeah,
but I will take it to see. I think it will depend on the criteria of the appraiser.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I'm not. I don't think it's gonna.
I don't think so, but
let's.
That is the main purpose of all of this. We as Segura Law always want to find the way to help both parties, but in a legal basis. Doing the things right and accordingly to what it in law corresponds, helping to benefit both parties.
Yeah. So before we finish this episode,
but why the sadness? Like,
because again, the
you don't
question,
want to go?
No, the question was that it's easy to sell a house or it's hard to sell a house. And from long story short, from my point of view, it's not that hard. But after we spoke like for 30 minutes, like sounds like it's really hard. But believe us, it's not that hard. It's if you hire us, it's not hard. Nah.
Exactly. No, if you deliver all of this paperwork and hazard that you have to make to an expert, whether it's Segura Law or Segura Law.
Yes. Yeah.
I think you will be in a good place, and if you are well informed about what is going to happen next, it won't be hard. This is, I think, for you get the information about what documents you need and what do you have to expect, and from there deliver it in the right hands, so you don't have to.
Yeah, I think that we already have something to talk about the next episode to be more specific with the pre-closing documents. And it's going to be like the continue of this one. If we can put part one in this one, and then exactly for the next one, it's going to be pre-closing documents. I think that could be a really good continue of the episode, because we spoke a little bit about the first 4 documents that are really important, and the next one that came from the municipality and the government and maybe the condominium. It's not that we don't care, but we are gonna speak about them. Okay, so I don't know if you have any main final thought about this.
Summary: title, property tax, CFDI.
Perfect. That's it. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.